Finally, we arrive at Southport Chapel Street. Southport has been a seaside resort since the late 18th century and popular with holiday makers. The children would enjoy the Lakeside Miniature Railway, a 15-inch gauge line, first opened in 1911. However, a serious fire in 1931 closed the line until 1948. King George was an Atlantic, built originally by Bassett Loeb. In 1948, a 460 was built with A4 outline, Ford Duke of Edinburgh, powered by a 40 horsepower diesel engine. Chapel Street Terminus had 11 platform faces plus 2 excursion platforms on the north side. Flat 5, 45110, is departing on a special in 1968. Taking the long curve eastwards, the train will soon pass St Luke's Station, beyond which the Wigan and Preston lines diverge at Hawks Head Street Junction. The special, just seen departing, had been brought in by Britannia Pacific Oliver Cromwell. The line from Liverpool was electrified in 1904 and from Southport to Crossings just after. This was on the West Lancashire Railway, which opened from Hesketh Bank to Hesketh Park in 1878. Situated in the Southport suburbs, it had a healthy commuter traffic up to closure in 1964. A steam-hauled service to Preston departs, while an electric from Crossings comes in for Southport. A goods yard, mainly coal, was situated by the signal box, and this stayed open until November 1967. 44949 of Rose Grove Shed arrives on the 5:32 p.m. Southport to Blackburn train in the summer of 1964. Another EMU arrives at the next station, Churchtown, whose elevated wooden platforms had little in the way of shelter, the main station buildings at a lower level. In the distance is Bankfield Lane Bridge at Crossens. Here the electric service is terminated. The units were built for the LMS just before the war and operated at 630-volt DC third rail. To run round, the units went to New Lane Crossing in the distance, where a signal box also controlled the level crossing. From here to Preston, the line was steamwork. Southport 42645 heads for Preston. The route now becomes rural at Banks. Rose Grove's Craft 42898 arrives with a train from Blackburn before departing over the level crossing. A Black 5 arrives from Southport and takes us to Hesketh Bank. Here was the centre of the West Lancs market garden industry. Another of Southport's Stanier banks, 42662, arrives from the up platform. Passengers joining here could have had a cheap day return to Southport for 2 shillings and 2 pence in 1964, just 11 pence today. The site of the station is now a housing estate. Another Rosegrove Tram 42722 on a Blackburn to Southport service. A 1.25 mile branch once ran from Hesketh Bank to Charlton to connect with the canal branch of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, and this brought some goods traffic to the line. It closed in 1913. Poole was the only station missed by the 2:16 p.m. from Preston on Saturdays. By 1882, the West Lancs line reached Preston from Hesketh Bank, and the route was complete from Southport. At Longton Bridge, 42645 again, non-stop on the 3:04 p.m. from Preston, and a couple of minutes later, the Saturday's only 2:53 p.m. from Southport heads for New Longton and Hutton. After New Longton and Hutton was Penwortham and Cop Lane, on the outskirts of Preston. The 4:23 p.m. from Preston calls at the Gaslit Halt. The line was closed in September 1964. We return to the Liverpool to Preston line via Ormskirk. We are on the morning Liverpool to Glasgow train north of Sandhills heading for Kirkdale. This route is electrified as far as Ormskirk. Wharton Junction was on the Preston line, the junction for Wigan just south of the station. 75032 passes on the 9:48 a.m. from Preston on the 30th of October 1965, and 70032 passes Orwell Park with non-corridor stop on the 9:50 a.m. from Preston to Liverpool. After Aintree came Old Rowan, a halt opened by the LMS in 1936. A Black 5 crosses the Leeds to Liverpool Canal near Maghull. Maghull Station was opened by the East Lancs Railway in 1849. 45196 heads north on the 9 o'clock Liverpool to Glasgow in 1967. Some good line speeds were often obtained here. A Black 5 rolls along well with a returning excursion for Blackpool. Town Green and Horton Station opened as Town Green in 1849. In 1975, British Railways reverted to the original name again. Electrification reached here in 1911. The electric cars were built in Derby between 1940 and 1942 and lasted until the late 1970s. The route saw steam to the end in August 1968 and attracted enthusiasts for the morning Glasgow train and its return from Preston at 21:25. The 27.5 miles were booked for 38 minutes, which called for spirited running considering the difficult route out of Preston via Farrington Cove Junction, and later weaving a path from Wharton Junction into Liverpool Exchange. These trains are climbing at 1 in 131. This is 45376 on a train bound for Liverpool. Walton Park was the summit of the route. 44858 comes over the top with the 1310 Liverpool to Blackpool North on the 3rd of June 1967. Lostock Hall has borrowed Rose Groves 45382 for the morning Glasgow train in January 1968. Ormskirk was the end for the electric services from Liverpool. Arriving on a Blackpool North service is Aintree's 44809. Today, the line north to Preston is single and worked by diesel multiple units. (44836) heads the 0900 Liverpool to Glasgow at Doctors Bridge, Ormskirk. At Burstock Junction, the line north to Preston crossed over the Southport to Wigan main line. The connection from Burstock Bridge on the Southport to Wigan line is traversed in 1968 by 45110 to reach Burstock Junction on the Preston to Liverpool line. This was the same train as seen earlier at Southport Chapel Street with 70,013 Oliver Cromwell. She takes the North Curve to reach the West Coast main line at Farrington Curve Junction, Preston. Gathurst is on the Burstock to Wigan ex-L&Y line. Oliver Cromwell runs a special through the station in 1968. Returning to the Liverpool-Preston line, we are on train passing Rufford. On construction in the 1840s, there were problems with the marshy ground here. The line was completed through to Preston in 1849. Next station was Croston. 44816 of Aintree passes on the 3rd of June 1967, while that shed still had the working for the 0900 Liverpool train.